Adonai said to me, "Go, buy yourself a linen loincloth and wrap it around your body, but don't soften it in water." So I bought a loincloth, as Adonai had said, and put it on. Then the word of Adonai came to me a second time. "Take the loincloth you bought and are wearing, and get up, go to Parah, and hide it there in a hole in the rock." So I went and hid it in Parah, as Adonai had ordered me. A long time afterwards, Adonai said to me, "Get up, go to Parah, and recover the loincloth I ordered you to hide there." So I went to Parah and dug up the loincloth. But when I took it from the place where I had hidden it, I saw that it was ruined and useless for anything. Then the word of Adonai came to me. Here is what Adonai says. "This is how I will ruin what makes Yehuda so proud and Jerusalem so very proud. I will ruin this evil people who refuse to hear my words and live according to their own stubborn inclinations, who go after other gods and serve and worship them. They will be like this loincloth, which is useless for anything. For just as a loincloth clings to a man's body, I will make the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Yehuda cling to me," says Adonai, "so that they could be my people, building me a name and becoming for me a source of praise and honor." But they would not listen. So you are to tell them, "This is what Adonai, the God of Israel, says. Every bottle is filled with wine." Then they will ask you, then when they ask you, "Don't we already know that every bottle is filled with wine?" You are to answer them, "This is what Adonai says. I'm going to fill all the inhabitants of this land, including the kings sitting on the throne of David, the Kohanim, the prophets, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, with drunkenness. Then I will smash them one against another, even fathers and sons together," says Adonai. "I will show neither pity nor compassion, but I will destroy them relentlessly. Listen and pay attention. Don't be proud, for Adonai has spoken. Give glory to Adonai your God. Before the darkness falls, before your feet stumble, on the mountain in the twilight, and while you are seeking light, he turns it into death-like shadows, and makes it completely dark. But if you will not hear this warning, I will weep secretly because of your pride. My eyes will weep bitterly, streaming with tears, because Adonai's flock is carried away captive. Tell the king and queen mother, come down from your thrones, for your magnificent crowns are falling from your heads. The cities of Negev are besieged, and no one can relieve them. All of Yehuda is carried into exile, completely swept into exile. Raise your eyes, and you will see them coming from the north. Where is the flock once entrusted to you, the sheep that were your pride? When he sets over you as rulers, those you train to be allies, what will you say? Won't pain seize you like those of a woman in labor? And if you ask yourself, why have these things happened to me? It is because of your many sins. Your skirts are pulled up and you have been violated. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or a leopard its spots? If they can, then you can do good. Who are so accustomed to doing evil? So I will scatter them like chaff that flies away in the desert wind. This is what you will get, says Adonai. The portion I measure out to you because you have forgotten me and entrusted in the lie. I myself will lift your skirts above your face, and your privates will be exposed on the hills and in the fields. I have seen your abominations, your adulteries, your lustful lying, your shameless prostitution. Woe to you, Jerusalem! You refuse to be purified. Won't you ever allow it? The word of Adonai came to Yirmiyahu concerning the drought. Yehuda is mourning, her gates are languishing. They sit on the ground in gloom. Jerusalem sends up a cry of anguish. Her nobles send their servants for water. They go to the cisterns but find no water, so they return with empty jars. Ashamed and dismayed, they cover their heads because of the ground which is cracked, since it has not rained in the land. The farmers are ashamed. They cover their heads. The doe in the countryside, giving birth, abandons her young for lack of grass. The wild donkeys standing on the bare hills gasp for air like jackals. Their eyes grow dim for trying to spot any vegetation. Although our crimes witness against us, take action, Adonai, for your name's sake, for our backsliding are many. We have sinned against you. You, hope of Israel, its savior in time of trouble. Why should you be like a stranger in the land, like a traveler turning aside for the night? Why should you be like a man in shock, like a champion unable to save? You, Adonai, are you right here with us? We bear your name. Don't leave us. Here is what Adonai says to this people. They so love to wander, they don't restrain their feet. So Adonai does not want them. Now he will remember their crimes and he will punish their sins. Then Adonai said to me, don't pray for this people or for their welfare. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. When they offer burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. Rather, I will destroy them with war, famine, and disease. Then I said, Adonai, God, the prophets are telling them, you won't see war, you won't have famine, but I will give you secure peace in this place. Adonai replied, the prophets are prophesying lies in my name. I didn't send them, order them, or speak to them. They are prophesying false visions to you, worthless divinations, the delusions of their own minds. Therefore, Adonai says, concerning the prophets who prophesy in my name, whom I did not send, yet they say, there will be neither war nor famine in this land. It will be war and famine that will destroy these prophets. And the people to whom they are prophesying will be thrown into the streets of Jerusalem because of their famine and war. But no one will bury them or their wives or their sons and their daughters, because I will pour out their own wickedness upon them. You are to give them this message. Let my eyes stream with tears night and day, unceasingly, because the virgin daughter of my people has been severely broken. She has been dealt a crushing blow. If I go out in the field, I will see those slain with the sword. If I enter the city, I will see the victims of famine. Meanwhile, prophets in Kohanim ply their trade in the land, knowing nothing. Have you rejected Yehuda completely? Is Zion loathsome to you? Why have you struck us irreparably? We looked for peace, but to no avail, for a time of healing, but instead found terror. We confess our rebellion, Adonai, also the crimes of our ancestors. Yes, we have sinned against you. For your name's sake, do not spurn us. Do not dishonor your glorious throne. Remember your covenant with us. Don't break it. Among the nations, idols, can any make it rain? Can the skies of themselves send showers? Aren't you the one, Adonai, our God? Don't we look to you? For you do all these things. Then Adonai said to me, even if Moshe and Shmuel were standing in front of me, my heart would not turn toward this people. Drive them out of my sight. Get them out of here. When they ask you where they should go, tell them that this is what Adonai says. Those destined for death, to death. Those destined for the sword, to the sword. Those destined to famine, to famine. Those destined for captivity, to captivity. I will assign them 4 kinds of scourges, says Adonai. Sword to kill, dogs to drag away, birds in the air, and wild animals to devour and destroy. I will make them an object of horror to all the kingdoms of the earth because of Manasseh, son of Hezekiah, king of Yehuda, because of what he did in Jerusalem. Who will take pity on you, Jerusalem? Who will grieve for you? Who will turn aside to ask about your welfare? You have rejected me, says Adonai. You are heading backward. So I'm stretching out my hand against you, tired of sparing you. I am destroying you. With a winnowing fork, I am scattering them to the wind at the gates of the land. I am bereaving them, destroying my people, because they will not return from their ways. Their widows increase in number, more than the sands of the sea. At midday I am bringing the destroyer on the mothers of young men, causing anguish and terror suddenly to fall upon her. The mother of 7 sons grow faint. Painting in despair, her son has gone down while it's still daytime. She is left disgraced and bewildered. The rest of them I will give to the sword and their enemies, says Adonai. Woe to me, mother, that you gave me birth. O man, who is the object of strife and controversy throughout the land? I neither lend nor borrow, yet all of them curse me. Adonai said, I promise to release you for good. I promise to make your enemies appeal to you when calamity and trouble come. Can iron break iron from bronze from the north? I will give away your wealth and your treasures as plunder, and you will not be paid for them. Because of all your sins throughout your territory, I will make you pass together with your enemies into the land you did not know, for my anger has become a blazing fire. I will flare up against you. Adonai, you know, remember me, think of me, take vengeance for me on my persecutors. Because you are patient, don't banish me. Know that for your sake I suffer insults. When I found your words, I devoured them. Your words made me glad. They gave me joy, because Adonai Sevaot, you had me bear your name. I have never kept company with merrymakers. I could not celebrate. With your hand on me I sat by myself, for you filled me with indignation. Why is my pain unending, my wound incurable, refusing to be healed? Will you be for me like a deceptive vati, which is only sometimes filled with water? This is what Adonai answered. This is Adonai's answer. If you return, if I bring you back, you will stand before me. If you separate the precious from the base, you will be my spokesman. I will then be they who turn to you, not you who turn to them. Toward this people I will make you a fortified wall of bronze. They will fight against you, but not prevail against you. For I am with you to save you and rescue you, says Adonai. I will free you from the grasp of the wicked and redeem you from the clutches of the ruthless.